Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. We may have some additional folks join us, but for those of you who have already logged in, good afternoon, and thank you so much for taking time to be with us this afternoon. And thank you for your interest in learning more about the Virginia Capital Semester Program and the Internship Program. So this information session is being recorded as a live webinar and will be available for future reference. And it should take approximately 20 to 30 minutes of general information that we will present regarding the Virginia Capital Semester Internship Program. And we'll also provide time at the end of the information session for a Q&A exchange. So you will see, you may see the screen go back and forth from the presentation to the panel joined here today. And again, please do feel free to make notes of your questions, and we will have that available for presenting those questions to us towards the end. Well, my name is Shawana Ison-Payne, and I serve as the Director of the Office of Student Success for the VCU L. Douglas Wilder School of Government and Public Affairs, and oversee our Virginia Capital Semester Internship Program housed in the Office of Student Success. I am joined here today by other members of the Office of Student Success team and an alum of the Virginia Capital Semester Program. So I will let them introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Ashley Harrison. I'm the Student Success Program Coordinator in the Office of Student Success.
I'm Joe Walton. I'm a GTA in the Public Policy Doctoral Program, and I'm the GTA supporting the Virginia Capital Semester.
And I'm Valerie Spina. I'm the alum. I'm a senior this year in the Political Science Department. And I've worked with Senator Mamie Locke of the 2nd District during my time as a Capital Semester intern. And I want to give you guys my contact information now in case you want to ask me questions later, and I'll say this again. But you can get my email, which is Spina, V-A-S-P-I-N-A, VA@vcu.edu for any questions later.
Great.
So I'm going to take a moment to pull up the slides, so please bear with us.
As the slides are coming up, I will share with you some general contact information for the Office of Student Success here in the L. Douglas Wilder School of Government and Public Affairs. Our office is located in Shearer Hall, 923 West Franklin, and on the 4th floor in room 405. We also have some contact information that will come up in one of the slides to provide you with our phone number, 804-827-2791, in addition to being able to reach us via email at wsinternship@vcu.edu. So again, any questions that perhaps were not able to be answered at the duration of this webinar, certainly feel free to contact any of us, and Valerie shared her information, and she'll repeat that again at the end of the webinar as well. So again, thank you for being with us today. Thank you to my colleagues and our alum for being here to share information with you regarding this program. To give you some general information regarding the internship itself, this is a really unique opportunity that is open to all students in various majors, specifically though to juniors and seniors. So this is an undergraduate program that is designed again for juniors and seniors, but we really want to open up this opportunity for students in all majors. And so it does go beyond our Wilder School majors of criminal justice, urban and regional planning, and homeland security, and emergency preparedness. As you heard from Valerie, she's a political science major, and so we have had students who have participated from the School of Social Work, from College of Humanities and Sciences, and many different programs across the university. This program, this internship, is also open to students at other universities as well. So we have had students from outside of VCU participate in the Virginia Capital Semester Internship. It does provide a firsthand experience where you are working directly with a senator or a delegate. And so you are there with them in meetings, working on policy development, different committees that they are a part of, and really there in the heart of what is happening during session. This process for participating in the internship program does have an extensive application and interview process, and we will go into that in more detail for you later throughout the webinar. And there is also a component, course components that are a part of this as well. So in addition to the actual intern experience of working 20 hours per week with your delegate or senator, you are also enrolled in 2 courses, one that is specifically geared towards the internship requirements and the other that is a specific policy making seminar. We do want to remind you that the courses that you enroll in, they both are for 3 credits. Again, we'll go into some more detail later in the webinar. So because this is a credit-bearing, credit-earning internship, that it does reflect VCU current semester tuition and fees. And so that's something that you could confirm with VCU Student Accounting and to ensure any financial aid through VCU Financial Aid. And we are happy to answer any initial questions that you may have regarding that as well. At this time, I'd also really like to ask Valerie to share any exciting or most interesting aspects of that firsthand experience.
Yeah, so what I really loved about it was being able to sit in on not just session, but committee. That was where all the work got done. That was where you got to hear from constituents and interest groups and either other legislators and lobbyists. That was absolutely the most interesting, the most like action-packed times inside the GA. And that was such a unique experience to be able to sit there every day and you know, I took notes. That's what some of the work we did was we took notes for our legislator on that. But you really get to see policy move all the way through. You know, if you're interested in a certain piece of legislation, you can go to that committee, sit in on that whole committee and watch it, you know, see how the politics work with it, see if the committee chair is even going to talk about it that day. There's just a lot of interesting things to watch, especially as a poli-sci major and study all of this. And then we got to actually be there and see it firsthand. So I think that was my probably favorite part, most interesting part of the whole thing.
That's great. Thanks, Valerie. You know, one of the other questions that we also get is about that management of the 20 hours per week of working in the member's office, managing full-time coursework, and then any other activities that you may have going on. Could you talk a little bit about how the management was for you?
Yeah, so I took 18 credits that semester, which is on the higher side of credits. And I think it was still not hard to do 20 hours a week. I think some weeks I even did more than 20 hours, depending on how much work they wanted, the legislator wanted that week. But I did mine, I think, every day from 7:30 in the morning until noon, or 8 in the morning until noon, somewhere around that time. But it was also really easy because the VCU bus system takes you straight to the Capitol Square. So I think that was what made it really easy to fit it into your schedule, was that you had transportation directly to where you needed to be. And then it's just planning around your schedule. So if you can plan your schedule that semester to leave, you know, a whole day open or something, or leave just your mornings open or just your afternoons open, you can absolutely do that. And I really didn't have a problem planning it in, but it's definitely, you have to be good about time management and do take advantage of the VCU bus system, because that was definitely key.
Great, thank you. Thank you. I'm going to pass it on to Joe now to begin to talk about the application and the timeline.
Okay, so as you may know, the General Assembly meets in every year in January through March, and so our application and selection process is sort of backdated from that time frame. So the applications are due in October, early October, October 2nd, as you can see there on the board, which is pretty quick. So that's just a few weeks away for this upcoming session. The application process and the paperwork is comprehensive, but it isn't insurmountable in that time frame with the rest of your work. Once we get those, we process this pretty quickly in the days after that, and then send out some scheduling emails and the scheduling logistics to have the interviews a week later, which are October 9th through the 13th. We send out, they're about 30 minutes long. So on the next slide, so the interviews are about 30 minutes long, and we just have big blocks of time on the 9th through the 13th, and then there is a first come, first serve about getting in and scheduling those, or indicating which block of time you want to come in and do the interview. But we get the applicants scheduled up during those times. We then process the feedback from the panel and then make a decision on notification of selection about a week later in late October. And then from that point, we then work with the members and the legislative assistants for the members, work with the applicants and then those members and the legislative aides to figure out placement. And so the placement can be on, I apologize. So then we work through the placement details in early November. By December or so, all of the placements have been settled and we're ready to go with people starting to meet the legislative aides. The session begins in January of 2018, and there's a mandatory orientation for all Virginia Senate and House interns. That includes, that's not just Virginia Capital semester, but that's interns that may be coming in from anywhere across the state and involved in General Assembly activities. There's one big, you get your badges that day, you go through the forms process and things like that to get on board with the General Assembly. The lower portion there, the dates of the General Assembly it should be a 60-day session, which in even years it's 60 days, in odd years it's 45. So this will be the longer session. And that is an intense, as Valerie was kind of alluding to, that is an intense time. It's an intense time for the members and for the aides. You as an intern are only required to do 20 hours a week, and that can be fit in and worked out with your schedule. In addition to the General Assembly session, which then is 60 days and it ends in March, the longer semester has the internship course, which is the policymaking course, and that runs the normal schedule of the semester of late January through May. And next I will talk about the actual interview and the placement process, which I alluded to in the calendaring or the scheduling process right there. So the application itself is a resume, your official transcript, and an application form that we have. You need to turn in an essay about your General Assembly, or excuse me, your interest in the Virginia Capital semester and what public policy issue, an essay about a public policy issue that is relevant to you. And so that doesn't necessarily have to be something that you've just written in the next 3 weeks. It can be something that you've written in the past and you modify it or brush it up for this application process. You also need to have a faculty recommendation. That can be from somebody within the Wilder School or if it's faculty outside of the Wilder School. And so that's the extent of the application, and that is what is due on October 2nd. You submit that electronically. The official transcript doesn't have to be a stamped one with an envelope and an official stamp. You can send that an electronic version of the official transcript to us. Like I mentioned, in about a week after that, we scheduled the interview. That is a panel of Wilder School folks who are reviewing your application and then spend about 30 minutes with a standard set of questions that we ask all the applicants. They're about your professionalism and leadership and academic and career goals. but it's also, we also ask you if you're willing to share your political interests, and not just Democrat or Republican necessarily, but what public policy issues you're interested in and would like to participate with a member on. Some members do want an intern who is of their political persuasion, and some members do not. Some applicants want to be matched with a member that has their same political persuasion, and some applicants do not. And so it's not a question of altering or changing or discussing any views. It's just managing to figure out what people's interests are so that we can match them up for a great experience. After that, the placement process, which is in November and December, we've sent out a solicitation to all the members to ask them if they want an intern and what specific things they might be looking for in an intern. We group those up and candidly rank the members by their level of seniority or their seniority within the General Assembly. And then as we've got screened and accepted applicants, we attempt to match up the political persuasions, skills, and knowledge and abilities with whatever the members might need or want. And then from there, we assign people to the members, and that is how the placements are locked in. Did I cover everything, Valerie?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I would just say when you make your application, make sure you're fitting it towards this position, and not just giving a generic application.
Yeah, this is not a time for non-biased, non-partisan.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't need to wear any buttons or hats or anything. But this is really an opportunity for you to think about what you're interested in from a public policy perspective. Frankly, why you want to go to the General Assembly and spend 60 grueling days, involved in session, and express that and let us know what your interests are, so we can help you attain those. So now I will turn it over to Ashley to talk specifically about the classroom requirements.
So there are curriculum requirements that are involved with the program. They are independent, so they are two separate classes, but they do complement one another. The first course that students are required to take is GVPA, so Government and Public Affairs 494. This is the internship specific class. This class is housed online through Blackboard, so there is no in-person meeting for this class. This is an opportunity for students to be able to have that more reflective side of their internship experience, as well as keeping track of the hours that they're working, and being able to write reflectively in journal formats of what's going on. The second course that students are required to take is Government and Public Affairs 423. This is the actual semester seminar. So this is the in-person, so students will be required to physically be present for this class. And we typically, in past years and in last year as well, we housed it at the actual General Assembly building itself. And so students oftentimes would work, a certain amount of hours that day, and then would just proceed to stay there and take the course as well. So again, this is an in-person section. This is taught by a faculty member, and this is an opportunity for students to experience the legislative process in a classroom format. So talking about policy making, as well as having guest speakers come and visit and talk to the class. So they're just kind of getting to know their fellow CAT semester interns and having that kind of seminar format to take place down at GAB. So both are credited courses, like Ms. Eisenpain said, they are 3 credits each. And so students would need approval for this academic credit to actually register, and we do that through an override system. So if you're a VCU student, you're likely familiar with this process. Our office, we are the individuals who actually provide you the overrides to then register. So students will only get this override if they are part of the program. When it comes to the approval for academic credit, we all do recommend that you go through your specific department. So like we mentioned, this program is open to students of all majors. And so as you're familiar, there are advising offices within all majors as well. And so we always recommend, if you're accepted into the program, to talk with your specific advisor to know where these credits will fall within your curriculum, because it may vary depending on your program. We do recommend, so Valerie mentioned she was at 18 credits, but we do recommend students take about 12 to 15 credits during that semester. So along with these 2 courses, possibly 2 or 3 more courses, to just fill up your schedule based on what your program permits. To continue about the classes, do you want to talk initially about GPA 494? This is a course, it is pass-fail. So keep in mind you pass or you fail, and so knowing how that will affect GPA is something you'll want to discuss with your academic advisor. I mentioned that the class is 3 credits, it's an online course. The following things listed are the actual assignments that you would be completing. Again, all housed through Blackboard, all submitted through Blackboard. And those are 2 versions that you will see and become familiar with, which is the time log and evaluation, which those items are signed by your actual legislative assistant. I'm going to turn it over to Valerie real quick if she wants to share anything about this class portion and what it was like.
Yeah, this was the online part. I mean, both of the evaluation forms were really helpful when we, got to sit down with the LA ourselves and, get our own feedback about our performance. I think reflection's always great when you're learning how to be in a professional environment, and then you can take away these lessons that you get. And I think just starting reflection too when you start being professional too is a great skill to move forward with. And also when we did the resume, that was really helpful because I set up my resume then to apply to something else. So this was just a great time to be able to get evaluation of my resume from teachers, and then also from the Career Center. That's where that's what we did with our resumes. We took it to the Career Center first. So both of those were good experiences. Yeah.
Okay. All right, shift in focus just to again talk more about the actual seminar course. So again, this is a 3-credit course. It is A through F scale. Last semester, the students, it was previously held on Wednesdays 5:30 to 8:10. What I will share is that this date and time is to be announced. The students who are accepted in the program will be let know well in advance of what time the schedule for this class will take place so that you can appropriately schedule your classes. So right now, to be determined. Again, there are lecturers and guest speakers that will be engaging with this course. This course is taught in person by a faculty member down at the General Assembly. And the following are some samples of assignments that students were completing throughout this program. And so again, it's an in-person session, seminar style faculty member. Any feedback on this class? Yeah,
the best part about this class was we mainly had speakers come in. I think it was either every class or every other class we had a new speaker come in, and we had, the communications director for the governor, we had the lieutenant governor come in, we had the attorney general, we had lobbyists, we had a panel of lawyers come in. So that was absolutely great as a supplement to all of the people and all the things we were doing in the GA. So yeah, that was definitely the best part because you also get to meet people. And I think a lot of this is about building you up as a leader. And so to hear other people's stories of, them being a student in college and then, them being the communications director for the governor was, I think it gave you a lot of perspective about your time in the GA as well.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. So again, this is to reiterate quite a few statements that have been made in reflecting each of these slides. General expectations. The attendance, first of all, at the General Assembly internship orientation that first Friday in January. That is something that is required, as mentioned earlier, of all interns. It's really crucial that you attend that. And as selections are made and students are notified, we will re-emphasize that orientation again. But this is a detailed review of all of the expectations, not just through the Virginia Capital Semester Internship Program, but as an intern working with the delegate or the senator as well. And then from Virginia Capital Semester Internship Program, it's a chance to meet all of the other CAP semester students. And so it's a way to get to know your peers within the program. We enjoy lunch together. We will most likely take a group photo and just learn a little bit more about the many benefits and the experience of being a part of the program. The last few bullets here really are reflecting the overall level of professionalism that is expected to being a Virginia Capital Semester intern, and really also to mirror what Valerie mentioned about being a leader. Not only seeing yourself as a leader, you are perceived as a leader, you are representing this program, representing VCU, representing the Wilder School. It's a coveted, highly regarded program, and so we want to ensure that you are building yourself up as a leader, that you're developing professionally throughout the entire duration of the program. That's certainly going to move beyond your professional journey. So part of that is ensuring that direct communication with the legislative assistant and with the Wilder School Office of Student Success remains consistent, and that there is transparency about both areas of need that you may have, great stories that you want to share, ways that we can support you, and so that communication is maintained certainly via email and through our Blackboard site, but also there are weekly on-site visits. And Joe actually did quite a few of the visits last year as a full Office of Student Success team. We will all come together for an initial visit, but most importantly, wanting you to know that there is a large support system here for you throughout the duration of the program. So in addition to that communication being key, adding to the level of professionalism, it is arriving on time. Now, some of these next things certainly should go without saying, but again, it is very crucial that arriving on time, appropriate business attire, and certainly accepting and being open to acknowledging the feedback that has been given to you either by our office and or your supervisor there in the member's office is really important. Again, wanting to ensure that level of professionalism is maintained and that you are continuously growing professionally throughout the program. Is there any feedback or any information about on-site visits or support from the offices?
No, I mean, as Shawana was saying, I for several of the weeks during session, came down. I think typically it was on Wednesday, but once all the assignments are made and you work out with the legislator, the folks who are accepted and placed, work out with the legislative aide what time you're going to be down there. Then we work out our visits to come down during those times and we can see everybody. Some of it's just to say hi. It's also every now and then there's issues that come up to work out with scheduling and feedback, but a lot of times it's just hearing interesting stories, and, putting a name with the face and making sure everything is going well and that it keeps going well. That's it.
Thank you.
All right, so like Ms. Eisenpain mentioned, this is an opportunity for you to develop professionally. And so our hope is that you feel comfortable with speaking to our department as well as making sure you can make use of the campus resources available to you. And so making sure, no matter what your program and major, talking with your specific department, determining what sort of internship opportunities can extend from this, talking about other opportunities for you to develop professionally as an extension of this opportunity. When it comes to your faculty, staff, and mentors, this is a great time to start thinking about how to develop those and how to best utilize those individuals. And always having in your kind of back of your mind, if you are able to participate in this program, who are some of these individuals that you're connecting with that can serve as mentors and just serve as people you can speak with about how you'd like to develop. Also, as VCU students, and even if you are not a VCU student and you participate in this program, you are able to use our career services office that's in the student commons. They have a wealth of knowledge, and they are willing and ready, available to help you all when it comes to interview preparation. So I know, for instance, for our interview, they did help some students prepare for that, as well as preparing for those other opportunities that come by way of this internship program. Researching careers by way of this program, being really cognizant of those speakers that come to the seminar class, and determining what direction you would like to take this experience. Along with all of those things, they of course help with your professional branding, and so definitely take use of that. As a part of the internship course, we do require you all update your resume, and so that's a perfect time to really see how you feel about your resume and what you want to improve upon, along with, of course, a cover letter and even using social media sites like LinkedIn. So our Career Center, they do have walk-in hours and you can schedule appointments. And again, every major here at the university has a liaison career advisor, so make sure to get to know who yours is, and feel free to use them for this opportunity as well.
Great. So we have talked about the general overview of the internship, the application process, the course and internship expectations. And so bringing all this together to the full benefits of being a Virginia Capital semester intern. Clearly, this is a fantastic opportunity for you to enhance your resume and to build on that professional brand that you are creating throughout your undergraduate career. This is a fantastic opportunity for networking. You are working directly with policymakers, with the members of our House and Senate, and all of the entities that are involved with that experience. So having the opportunity to engage with these individuals, to share about your interests, to share about your professional aspirations, this is a fantastic networking opportunity for you. Therefore, leading into future references, whether it is for job opportunities, graduate school, or many other engaging opportunities that you may have, you are building these professional relationships and therefore increasing your potential for future references for your continued endeavors. Moving into possibly then certainly job offers and job opportunities. And all of this culminating to the overall professional development. One of our previous interns here has a quote down here that she shared, and what I really love that Julia has here is putting the emphasis on being a part of the process. It is your opportunity to truly become a change agent, your opportunity to have social justice at the heart and the helm of the foundation of your contributions to our community. And again, it's really grabbing on to the opportunity to take on and really dive into being a leader yourself and what this can mean for your future. And so I'm really excited for Valerie to talk about what this led to, this Virginia Capital semester internship experience led to for her in a fellowship opportunity. Valerie?
Yeah, so I thought one of the greatest benefits from this was, personally, I felt like I gained the confidence in my own abilities, to work in the professional atmosphere, and just, a confidence in my, ability to go, get what I want and to do what I want. And I found out about the governor's fellowship through this program, through the faculty member who taught the course that you personally go into. And I applied to it and I got it, and that's what I did this summer. Was I worked in the Secretary of Technology's office, and actually Julia Carney is the administrative assistant for Brian Moran, the Secretary of Public Safety and Homeland Security. So she has also gone on to do way more stuff and be, a bigger part of this whole, process too. So it absolutely leads you with so much potential afterwards. I definitely would not have gotten that fellowship without being part of the Capital semester.
Thank you, Valerie. That's wonderful. Thanks so much for sharing that. So that concludes the information that we have to share with you regarding the Virginia Capital Semester Internship Program. At this time, we would like to open it up for any questions that you may have for any one of us on the panel. And we will take some time to hold on for just a moment as any questions you may have to submit. For those of you who may not have any questions, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. this afternoon, and certainly feel free to reach back out to us if you do have any future questions that may come up.
And again, my email, if you want to send me questions personally, is Spina, SPINAVA, @vcu.edu. Yeah.
Thank you. It doesn't seem as though we have any questions being submitted at this time. Oh, here we are. Here's one. How long is the essay length required to be? It is about, yeah, I'll need to.
I don't, Shawna's going to look that up. That's a great question.
Yes,
I don't,
Yeah.
yes.
okay, 1,000 words.
1,000 words.
I mean, so, and when we were going through them, I mean, most of them were 5 to 10 pages in length.
I think there were more. There was more than one question too.
There was. So
Yes.
actually, that prompts a great question. So let's actually, I'm going to share our screen.
Okay.
All of the application requirements are on our website. And so this will be helpful to reference when you guys apply. And so that way I can show you the actual application itself. So give me one moment. There we go.
To answer Chris's question, where the legislative office is going to be this session, it's going to be in the Pocahontas building, which is on the same Capitol Square, but it's just at the bottom of the hill. So I think that's Bank Street. It's going to be at the corner, I think it's the corner of Bank Street and 9th.
Something
Yeah.
like that. The VCU shuttle still drops
It's
off.
still, yeah, it still
Right,
drops you
right
off
there.
exactly there. Yeah,
And Valerie is right. The VCU shuttle is the way to go.
it is, yeah.
Plenty of parking where the shuttle picks up on
Yeah.
campus, and you can park in the deck and things like that on those days when you got to go down all day.
And
For a lot of
yeah.
the day, and then the shuttle drops you right off.
Yeah, the bus it takes really 10 minutes to get you there, and it takes you 10 minutes to get back to VCU when you need to leave, so it's perfect.
So yeah, so here is the application, here are the application requirements. So on October 2nd, this is going to be due. The application form itself, so when you click on it, it will pull up a PDF. And let's see, for some reason it paused my sharing.
And while we're getting that up, another question, you can have more than one recommendation if you'd like that is not required, and just one specific from a faculty member.
Let's see if I can share this other screen. There we go. All right,
There we
so
go.
thanks guys for working with me. So this is the actual application. And so you can simply type your responses here. You can print it off and write it. It has the detailed requirements. You can always submit online through email, or if you are here at VCU physically, you can bring it to our office. And then along with the actual application form, your transcript, the letter of recommendation from a faculty member at your current college or university, and then the essay form. So this is the form that Valerie was speaking of, and it is 1,000 words for the first essay and then 1,500 for the second. And so you can type your actual response here. If you would like to type it in Word, that's perfectly fine. Just make sure to have both essays. Let's go back to the chat. I think we have a few more questions. There we go. May we have more than one letter of recommendation? Yes, you may, but you're required to have one.
And then are other references besides faculty encouraged?
It's not necessary, just that one that is required it should be from a faculty member. But you don't need anything additionally.
No, and well, I'll say that the Harder as an applicant of international social justice, no, not at all. I mean, that is certainly is an applicable topic area or subject area. I mean, immigration is something that the state has to deal with. It's a federal issue and obviously very complicated. But no, there certainly are no disqualifying majors or anything whatsoever. I mean, we had
In my class, we had a bio major. We also had a philosophy major, the Homeland Security, I think there was just general communications major.
Sociology, we had a German minor.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
yeah, the better.
French,
Criminal justice.
Mhm. So the more the range, the better.
Mhm.
That sounds good.
Oh, and someone mentioned, will we be able to share this PowerPoint via email? And so we don't get access to your email. So if you could send an email to wsinternship@vcu.edu if you would like the PowerPoint, and we can send it to you directly. So I'm going to type it for you guys too.
One thing I'll add, we saw a couple others come in. Oh, that's right.
Great. So yeah,
One thing that for folks, we're recording this video for future reference as well, but and for the folks on the phone here, in years past there have been applicants who have a specific member with whom they'd like to work, whether it's because they've worked with them before or they'd like to start a relationship with that member, and we certainly, particularly in cases where they've already worked with the member and the member knows them, the member literally says to us, I want, person X as my intern. But if it's a case where you haven't worked with them before and they don't know you and you make the request, we certainly attempt to fulfill that and give the person the opportunity, the applicant, and give the member the opportunity to get the person that they want or that they've already chosen. And so if that's something that is of interest to you, then certainly submit that or make that known. In particular, because some students are from the western part of the state or the northern part of the state, are going to go back there or live there during the summer, that kind of thing, and want to work with the member that represents where they're from.
Are there any additional questions? These are great. Thank you so much for submitting these questions. All right, well, again, thank you so much, and we are certainly here to answer any future questions that may come up and to help you through the application process. So we certainly do look forward to receiving your applications and to hopefully meeting you all in person during the interview process. So again, on behalf of the L. Douglas Wilder School of Government and Public Affairs, Office of Student Success, and the Virginia Capital Semester Internship Program, we thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you all.